Natural horsemanship in this video. It's something I talked about before in my videos, but I want to talk about a point. I don't know if I talked about that or not before, but I want to talk about it. Of course, I'm talking about good ways of riding. When a bad rider says he's riding his horse in a natural way of horsemanship or natural way of riding, you say yes, yes, and that's it. Don't talk to him, don't argue with him. There's no point. He sucks. I'm talking about good riders who have the right to say, I have natural horsemanship way of riding. To be able to have the right to just say it, you must be a good rider. If you're a bad rider, it makes no sense at all. So I'm talking about good horsemen who achieve the things that cannot be achieved unless you are a good rider. If you ask who are the good horsemen or horsewomen, they are the ones who achieve things that cannot be done unless you are a good rider, which means you cannot achieve it by using strength. There are things that anyone can do. You can do it in a good way, and it's good. You can do it in a bad way, and it's bad. For example, jumping. You can jump in a good way, you can jump in a bad way. For example, laying down. You can make the horse lay down in a good way, you can make him lay down in a bad way. Same goes for tricks. You can make him do it in a good way, you can make him do it in a bad way. But there are things that only good riders can do it. You cannot do it in a bad way. If you did it, automatically what you did was right. There is good, there is better, okay, but all of them are right. Because it's impossible to achieve it if you were not right. For example, stopping a horse when he's really afraid and wants to run away. Controlling the horse when he's afraid because it came from trust. The same goes for controlling the horse with other horses. When he wants to do something, can control him. Control stallion with stallions, control stallion with mares. So in some cases, there are things that no one can do except for good riders, which means they did not use strength. When they do it, they talk about how they did it. I say I did it in a better way, you say you did it in a better way, but we agree that both of us did it. Only good riders do it, and both of us did it, which means our way of riding is correct, mine and yours. The punk is a punk, don't talk about him, I'm talking to you right now. But a good rider, leave the punk alone. Stay yes, you're a good rider. When you talk with a good rider who achieved what you achieved, as a result, you say your way or believe your way is better, he believes his way is better, and everyone is saying my way is the natural way of horsemanship. It's a good thing to say. It has some truth in it. But you have to convince me why. I have to convince you why. Good ways of riding, in my opinion, like true ways of riding, true styles of riding, at least for now, these days. You have the Spanish riding school, French riding school, you have the Western riding, came from the Mexican riding, and you have the dressage riders or dressage riding that came from French riding school. So at the end, let's say French riding school, Spanish riding school, Mexican, and Western style, which are one. So you have three main schools that, in my opinion, are completely true horsemanship ways of riding, but none of them is a natural way of horsemanship. Why? That's what I want to talk about. When it comes for the Western way of riding or the Mexican way of riding, Westerns took it from Mexicans and Mexicans took it from Spanish riders. And Spanish people took it from Arabians and took it from French riders in the past. So all ways of riding are connected to each other. But I don't want to talk about history, I want to talk about these days. What they do, what they want to achieve is connected to the cattle, to the cow. It's all about cattle. The goal is the cow, not the horse. The main thing is the cow, not the horse. It's a good thing, I know. But they don't do it for the horse, they do it for the cow. So the horse must do some things in a certain way, in a certain look, in a certain behavior, in a certain temperament. If not, he's a bad horse. They don't blame their way of riding, they don't blame the cow, they blame the horse. Still, what they did is something that you can't achieve unless you are a good rider. That's a fact. But they have to do some things in a certain way. If not, you cannot do it. So how can you call it a natural way of horsemanship? All your way of riding is depending on the legs and the spurs. 80 or 70% of your way of riding comes from the spurs, from the leg, not from the hand. So you train the horse with the hand. You can control the horse in the first day with the hand. You can control the horse in the first, after 1 year with the hand. With the leg, in the first day, the horse doesn't know what you're doing. After 1 year, you can do anything you want with the leg. So the leg is something you train the horse for. The hand is just reactions and actions. You don't train him for it. And if 80% of your way of riding is depending on the leg, that means you train the horse to do some things. All these things are based on making the horse give you what you want, but in a calm way. Loose neck, I want you to move forward, not give me the neck, don't move your head high, give me what I want in this way because I want the cattle, especially in the past, to remain calm. If the horse is calm, the cow is calm, the cattle are calm, so, or cows are calm, so, or the same goes for bulls, where in Spanish language school, so they do it for something that has nothing to do with the horse. Loose rein, in the nature, or in their nature, in the wilderness, is normal. You see horses in their nature with a loose neck, eating, drinking water, having fun with other horses. But you forced the horse. Of course, I'm not saying you force him in a bad way. I said he's a good rider, so he did not force the horse. But he forced the horse in a good way to always give him what he wants in a loose way. Don't bend the neck, don't move your head high. Which is something that horses do in their nature. But you took one and did not take the other. Horses in their nature, when they are alone, bend their neck and move it up when they are fighting with other stallions, when they are breeding other mares, when they are enjoying themselves and playing alone. So how can you call your way of riding natural way of horsemanship? How did you say that loose neck is a natural way of horsemanship? Western riders who are true riders do it, bad riders do it, horses alone do it, but still, horses when they are alone do something else that you prevent them from doing when you ride them. How can you call it a natural way of horsemanship? The same goes for the other ways of riding. For example, the dressage or the French riding school or the Spanish riding school, they believe natural way of horsemanship is their way of riding. You say why? Because the horse is bending his neck, he's giving you what you want, he's always active, he's in a beautiful shape or way. Okay, when he's alone in his nature, he does that sometimes, but sometimes he moves with a loose neck. So you took a side of nature, from nature, but you kept the other side away. You don't get the right. You don't have the right to say it's a natural way of horsemanship. It's good, no doubt about it. Right, of course. One of the best, maybe the best, but not a natural way of horsemanship. Now, what is the natural way of horsemanship? Why do I say my way of riding is natural way of horsemanship? It's very simple. I say I will totally control you by gaining your real trust. Which means if I ask you to canter or trot or gallop, you will give it to me because you trust me. You want to do it while being hot? Go ahead. You want to be calm? Go ahead. You want to bend your neck? Go ahead. With a loose neck? Go ahead. You are having fun? Go ahead. You are lazy? Go ahead. Give me what I want in the way you want. With me, the same horse in the same ride will bend his neck after 2 kilos, loose rein. He's hot, now he's calm, now he's hot, now he's calm, now he's active, now he's happy, now he's lazy. With them, they force the horse to do one thing. Different orders, different things, but in the same look, the same, let's say, temperament. If not, he's a bad horse. That's why they get different results, not just marks, different results if you change the breed. So, natural horsemanship is completely different than right. Right is right. It's not wrong, it's not bad. But natural way of horsemanship, that means there is a reason or a proof that makes it natural. I say it's natural because he's doing what he does when he's alone in nature. I'm doing what I do when I am alone in nature. I am controlling, which is my nature. He is free, which is his nature. How is he free when I'm controlling him? It's very simple. I am controlling him while him being free. How? While I am controlling him, he's doing the things he does when he's alone in nature. Bending his neck, loose neck, or whatever. With them, you took a lot of things from his nature. So, in my opinion, the natural way of horsemanship is the way that keeps the horse like he is when it comes for the looks, the ways he does things that you want, but still you achieve what you want. If you force him, even if in a good way, it's good, it's right, but it's not a natural way of horsemanship. As for bad riders, when they say that their way of riding is a natural way of horsemanship, ride the horse in a good way first, and we will talk about natural or not, because there's no point in arguing with them. So, a natural way of horsemanship is not bareback alone. it's not loose rein, it's not halter, it's not bit, it's not spurs, it's not whip. Natural horsemanship means the horse is doing things like he does it when he's alone. That's simple. How can you call it natural when you are riding with the saddle, with the spurs, with a bit, with a martingale, and you say it's natural? How is it natural? Is it more natural than the one who's riding the horse bareback, just a bridle, just a halter? Makes no sense at all. And still, I did not say it's natural because I rode the horse bareback. Never. You can ride the horse bareback and your way of riding is not natural. You suck. It can happen. But at least it's closer to nature than the saddle. It's closer to nature than the spurs. It's closer to nature than the whip. So, natural means he will do things like he does it, or like he do them, or like he does them in his nature when he's alone. If he do these things in your way, that's right. That's correct because you made him do it, so you are a good rider, but it's not natural. Good, better, even best does not always mean natural. There is only one natural way of riding. There are no natural ways of riding. There is only one natural way of riding because it's called natural. Show me, where is the natural thing about it? Show me our rider. I say, where is the natural thing about it when you are forcing him not to move his head up or bend his neck? Show me the Spanish rider or the French rider. I will say, how can you call it natural when you are forcing the horse not to move or walk or trot or canter with a loose rein? I'm calling it natural because everything he does with me is how he does it when he's alone. Of course, I am on his back. That's not natural. There is a bit. There is a halter. Not natural. But at least I don't use a whip. I don't use a spurs. I don't use a saddle. And he does it in the same way he's doing it when he's alone. The exception is he has me on his back. He has me on his back. And he has a bit or a halter. That's true. But it's closer to nature than there. That comes from the way of movement. He bends his neck, moves it up. He's active. He's hot. He's calm. Different horses, different types. They don't do that, or they don't achieve that. So natural horsemanship is something that you hear from a lot of people. Everyone say it. To me, it makes no sense at all. Convince me. Why? It's a beautiful thing to say, but it's hard to convince the good rider about it. How can it be natural? Why is it natural? It makes no sense. You have 2 or 3 or 4 different ways of riding, completely different, and they have the same idea, which is sometimes right, sometimes wrong. In this case, all of them are wrong in my opinion. Now, horses in the past have different, of course, goals, or riders have different goals, but still it's the same thing. Like when you ride the horse in the battlefield in the past, in the battlefield, you want to win the battle, you want to win the war. You are riding a horse. Anything you do in the wrong way will be used against you. He will buck you off, you will die, or he will die too with you. So they have to totally control the horse so that they will be able to achieve what they want in the battle. So the main thing is the horse, not the cow, not the bull, not the people, not the fans, not the crowd. The horse. Because I want to convince the horse, because if I convinced him, I will be able to control him, so I will be able to fight the enemy. These days we don't have that. They have goals that has nothing to do with the horse. I want him to win the race. I want him to please the crowd. I want him to please the fans. I want him to please the cow. Good, right, better, sometimes one of the best, but it's not natural. Why what they did was natural? Because they had to do it. They did not want to do it. They did not like to do it. They had to do it. The only way for total control is real trust. And when you do that, you get, either you like it or you don't, you get natural way of riding horses. So that's my opinion about natural horsemanship. Everyone says it. 95% of people or 90% of people don't know what is it. Everyone say they have it, they do it. 90% of them or 95% of them don't know what is it. Or what it is, they cannot explain it to you. So that's my opinion about this issue of that.